What's up, my folks? I hope everyone is doing good. Watch this. This bitch hates some spray. Come here. It's your turn. Come on. It's your turn. Come here. Come here. Come on. You can't stand it. But when you get her, she goes real playful like. She'll get you. She'll run right back up to you. It's just a game with her. You know what I'm saying? She's turning. Oh, wipe out. She's just turning it into a game. Come on. What, you gonna wipe it off? Nuh-uh. Come here. But I hope everyone's doing good. I just thought I'd share that. It's fun. Some of the funny shit my dogs do. Come on, let's really get sprayed. Come on. Come on. She ain't gonna go for it. I gotta hold her every time. But she'll let me, you know what I mean? She don't freak out when I hold her. She don't like that shit. But anyway, I hope everyone is doing good. I want to go over a few things. I thought I was going to forget you today, didn't you? I told you I'm going to get on a roll for y'all. I almost don't have enough light, but just enough left. Let's talk over a few things about dogs. First of all, hooks. Once the hookworms set in, okay? You can't work a dog when they get the hookworms set in for a while, okay? Just because he looks decent after about a month after worm treatment, he ain't gonna be, all right? He's just not gonna be. Trust me, it's gonna take about 3 months for that dog's about right. He won't hang in there good. His blood work won't be right. His blood will be at least. I'd give him at least 3 months. BB guy shooting this. He's messing around with a BB gun, blowing up bottles with his powerful BB gun. That thing was bad. But anyway, yeah, give their dog. If you're gonna question was how long before you can work a dog after they've had hookworms, it ain't like a treatment and then you can go right to working them. Not after hookworms. You're talking. I mean, you can walk him and get his feet right and make that dog look decent. Right after treatment, you know what I mean? After he gets done with his treatment, he's feeling better, you know. But as far as like real perfect harmony, you're probably talking about 12 weeks before you even need to start fooling with him. And that's being honest with you. I mean, I wouldn't bullshit you. That's the way I've seen it. I don't know what some of the other guys can set in on it, but what I've seen is a dog takes about 12 weeks to recover from hooks before you can even start fooling with him. To answer your question on that. Money. Let's talk about money in dogs. All right. There is no real money in these dogs, man. Not really. Not really. You put it all back into them. You know what I'm saying? You put it all back into them. It's a labor of love. You're not going to get this big money off of any of that. Because this shit always happens. You're always working like busted pipes and water and, you know what I mean? It's always something. But no, it ain't no real money in these dogs. I got to separate these guys this week. That's what I'm working on right now. I got my damn old blue going and fixing to go. I got to go to the dump, that cleanup time. So that's what I've been going through today. So I hadn't really answered the phone much because been fooling with that. And so I know I had a lot of calls. So you guys that call, I'm not ignoring nobody. I just got time to feed up and, put spray out, shit like that. Everyone's done eat dinner and everything else. I'm still out here. I said I'd make them a video. I'll do one more. We'll talk about a few things in it. Money, the money of the dogs isn't like what a lot of people think. It's been glamorized. I mean, yeah, there's guys that sell their pups for a lot of money, and they sell, and they got their shit going on and been doing it a long time and stuff. But the average guy, like a hobby breeder like me, the guys that's keeping their stock, only selling a few here and there, if you're not selling the whole litters every time, you're not making no money. You know what I'm saying? If you're keeping a couple I give a lot away. I give a shitload of dogs away. So that's where, I mean, but it is what it is. I mean, that's just part of the game. It's the labor of love. So, but yeah, there ain't no real money, but they'll pay for themselves. Once you get to a level with them, you can let the dogs pay for themselves, and they'll do that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with letting your dogs pay for themselves. I mean, hell, I think every hobby is about like that anymore. If you can pay for your hobby with, the results, you're doing good, man. Feel proud of what you're doing. If other people are willing to feed your dog, that's the greatest compliment there is, okay, as a dog man. And it's very scary. Don't think for 1 second it's not scary. As a guy like me, I'm like, okay, well, I feel like I got a strain of dogs, and dogs that are good enough that I can allow to go to public people. That's the thing. There's a lot of dogs that I've had. Like I tell people, I used to have a bunch of bad motherfuckers that wasn't game, but they was bad motherfuckers, and they was very good dogs for me, because I knew how to mess with them. You know what I'm saying? But for someone else, they were, they wasn't so good. You know what I'm saying? But and so when you got to get a strain, when you're starting to breed dogs, you want to get your strain where it's usable for anybody and still bad motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And that's a scary thing when you start selling dogs, because I mean, I want people to get what they're after. I truly do. You ask anybody that's ever got a dog from me. I mean, if that son of a bitch ain't no good, you tell them what I tell them. Ask them what I tell them. You can welcome them, come on back, get another one, bring him back here, let's see what's wrong with this motherfucker. If I know that the person is a good dog man, but I try to full fuck with good dog men. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to worry about that. That's the hard part, is to getting your dogs in the right situation where you can, the guys that can make money on good pups sales and all that, they're selling their dogs for what they feel they're worth, and that's fine. You know what I mean? And they said some of the guys are commercial breeders. If it wasn't for the commercial breeders, we wouldn't have a lot of dog men in the game right now. That's the key. It's getting them motherfuckers in the game. It's a dying sport. You know what I mean? It used to be everybody had dogs. Everybody had at least 10 or 15. As many as I got. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody was at that serious level, But, so, it's good to have all them guys. I mean, and we all got to sit together on that shit. But, as far as the money goes, working man's thing's a working man's thing. That's what I always do. I deal with working people. I don't, and as far as like, we talk about the old people, this has been a big question, talking about like back when everyone used to match dogs. Well, there was some big money matches, but them guys, look, this is what I learned when my little short little decade in them, when I did that shit, was the more money, the more bullshit. You understand what I'm getting at? The more money that was on anything, the more bullshit you had to deal with. And don't think you couldn't get on good stock, good dog men, good dogs. For my first one was for $250, and I got on a 2-time winner out of a litter of champions. I don't think I want to say he was the only one that didn't make it. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, you could get on good dogs for the dog men were serious back then. If they thought it was good competition, and I guarantee you, my buddy, I didn't know nobody. I was a kid, but I had a buddy that knew a few people, and that motherfucker probably talked no shit, got me hooked up. You know what I'm saying? Where they couldn't, I guarantee you, he said, man, that motherfucker kid over there got a dog killed that motherfucker right there. Y'all in Jacksonville know what I'm talking about. And I guarantee you, he talked to no shit where they couldn't take it. They thought, and I knew he got me on a good one too, 2-timer. That's how it was. Dog men got to get on anybody that was willing to get it. You know what I'm saying? I was willing to get it. I was just a kid, but I was willing to get it. But that's how it was back then. The guys would prove their dogs. Now, I mean, there is a lot of people asking about paper breeding. There is, but I mean, a lot of guys breed pure. Okay, they're breeding pure stock, and you got to have pure stock to make your crosses. I'm 100% on that. You know what I'm saying? You'll never hear me complain about the guys that are breeding pure. I like to get a good pure dog and cross him how I see fit myself. You know what I mean? And if you get a good pure one that's a bad motherfucker, that's just icing on the cake. You know what I mean? But he needs out. I got to get him out here. All these need out. I got to get them out this week. That's my project this week. But you know, you got to have all them kind of breeders too, man. Don't knock them breeders. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people go and buy a real pure dog, okay, and be disappointed in it and talk shit about the bloodline, because it's like a lot of the pure dogs will be. I ain't talking like somebody say pure this and it's like 4 different strains of that shit together. That's, yeah, it is. It's a that's what it's based on, and it's a line bred dog on that. But what I'm talking about is like when they inbreed them pure, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them dogs will have they'll have faults, man. A lot of faults. If they're down a few generations, like most of us get in our chance to get dogs, they're going to be, if it's pure on something, it's going to be pretty much inbred a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? And you take that stock, it might have its faults, but it's based on what it was. You know what I mean? What it is. And you got to breed it and cross it and figure out what it needs. You know what I mean? And complement it in some. When I go out, I like to go out. I don't really like to go out a little bit, you know, only quarter and shit. Usually when I cross a pure dog out, man, I knock that motherfucker out the park. I go with something that ain't got nothing to do with nothing in him. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I've done it. But, you know, you can try it how you want, but breeding pure has its place. Don't think I'm anti-breeding pure. You know what I mean? Because I'm not. You gotta have them dogs. You know what I mean? I love breeding my old pure shit back to other old pure shit. That's fucking turns me on, man. You know, and as far as my stud fees and shit, it depends. You know, I don't really, I say $500, but you can ask anybody that's ever come up here and shook my hand on a dog. I ain't never took a penny from nobody on no stud fee or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't even get the pups back. You know, it is what it is. You know, I just be like, I'm cool, you know, keep them, you know, especially if there ain't a lot, you know. But no, I got a $500 stud fee on all my dogs, regardless of how they're bred. I don't care about that. But I don't, man, a lot of times, man, unless you want to keep all the puppies, I just do a puppy deal. That's how I roll with that. And as far as like papering them, there was a comment about that shit after I guess I said I was going to triple register the dogs. I just think it's a smart thing to do. So if you have a dog for me and you ever want to show it and there's somebody in that area that's doing the show, you ain't got to worry about it. You got, yeah, it's registered. Let's go. But as far as won't that make them a lot more expensive? Not really. I mean, not really. It's $120, $150 to do all 3, you know, per litter. You know what I mean? If I on average, you know, you'd be 120, 130, $150, and you can register, you know, have them all triples, you know, just with a little sheet and all, but they'll be registered with that stuff where you can show it in any kind of event that's going on. You know what I mean? But yeah, it ain't that much more, man. Them guys that want to say, I'll sell you this puppy for $500, and if you want papers, it's $1,000. Man, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. That ain't how it's done. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'll be like, come get the puppy. When I get the papers in, I'll give them to you. You know, and everybody that's ever dealt with me know that's how it rolls. You know, they get the papers when they come in, and I don't give a fuck about rushing all that shit and all, but I would like to triple register them and have them all triple registered. And I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the dogs need to be registered. You know, that's how we can keep it. I'm not saying register. You can single register dogs if you're keeping the whole litter and shit like that. But yeah, I think you should register them. I think they definitely should be registered. That way there ain't so many, man, you wouldn't believe the conflict in these dogs on breedings, y'all. I'm telling you. I don't even want, I talk to the people that were there. They tell me what's up. And the ones that I believe, that's how I breed the dogs. And it usually works out. I don't give a shit about, you know what I mean? You got to understand the bloodline. That's the key. But, you know. But yeah, as long as they're ADBA registered and you can follow that pattern, and keep breeding them's true. You really can't tell what no one did behind you. You know what I mean? Really, unless you were there. You know, you don't know. But anyway, y'all take care. Y'all keep on bulldogging. And I got another one. And that sumbitch is 15 minutes, 10 seconds. Hell yeah. Y'all take care and keep on bulldogging.